police.
True Opinion Podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of the True Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Adontaus, and today we are talking about domestic violence. We got to get serious for a minute. We got to talk about it. Why do we have to talk about it? Because it's my show and this is what the fuck I want to talk about. Because I hate this shit. Hate it with the passion. I hate domestic violence. I cannot stand abusers. We can't tolerate them. So today we are shedding a light on this shit. So what is domestic violence? Let's get a definition in our heads so that we know what we're working with. Domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behavior as part of a systematic pattern of power and control perpetuated by one intimate partner against another. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, threats, and emotional and psychological abuse. Okay, that is according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. So, what does all that mean? Domestic violence is a broad term, and then underneath it, we have these categories of types of abuse. Everybody knows physical abuse. You may not have known that sexual violence can occur within a relationship. No, your partner does not have the right to force themselves on you. No, you don't have the right to tell your wife you want it even when she doesn't want it. She is your wife, not your property. Knock the fuck off. Rape can occur in relationships. No means no, motherfuckers. No means no. Threats are considered domestic violence. If you are threatening someone, you are doing so in an attempt to try to control their behavior. So, yep, you threatening somebody, that is domestic violence. And emotional and psychological abuse, definitely part of a pattern of domestic violence. So first, let's talk about physical violence. Okay. Everybody knows that you should keep your hands to yourself, right? I mean, I remember probably up until about 6th or 7th grade when I was in school and we went over the classroom rules. Rule number 1 or 2 was always keep your hands and your feet to yourself at all times. So, this means as adults, we should know, you should have the capacity. I mean, if you made it to at least the 6th grade, you should know it is a rule in school. It is a rule in society. Keep your hands to yourself. There is no room for physical violence in a relationship. Physical violence is not the way to express your anger or your displeasure in a relationship. This is what I think. This is my true opinion on this shit. I think that domestic violence, physical violence is part of a cycle and a pattern. I know this is not new. You've heard all this shit before. But this is why I'm saying this, because I want the theme of this episode to be like, when you are thinking about this, I want you to keep this in the back of your head. Heal your past. Heal your past. You need to recognize that, and don't get mad, just hear me out. All the ways that we were raised, the things that we may have seen as a child, the things that we may have heard, all that shit wasn't right. It wasn't right. Everything wasn't cool. Some of the stuff that you may have witnessed in your household growing up, it was not right. But because kids learn what they see, they incorporate that into their personalities, into their scheme of what it is to be an adult and what it is to be in a relationship. You almost are always bound to repeat it because that's what you know. You grew up seeing it, you know it, you're like, oh, this is what I do. So if you grew up and your parents argued all the time, yelled and screamed and called each other bad names all the time, you may grow up and do the same thing because you think, oh, this is what married people do. This is what people in a relationship do. This is how they express themselves. They yell and scream and they call each other names. You know, it's not hard. Think. Okay, so if you grow up, God forbid, seeing your parents fight, seeing your father beat the shit out of your mother, seeing your mother hit your father. Yes, men can be abused. If you grow up seeing this, it is likely that you may grow up to repeat this pattern because you have learned that the way to express yourself in a relationship, the way to express your anger, your displeasure, your disappointment, your sadness, whatever emotion, is through violence. And that is why I encourage everybody, heal your past. Before you jump into relationships, serious relationships, I think everybody, I just think everybody could benefit from some couch help. What is couch help? It is when you sit or lay your ass on the couch and talk to a licensed professional about what is going on in your head and let them help you work it out. It is nothing wrong with it. We all have some shit rattling around up there that ain't quite right, that you don't quite know what to do with. So before you get into serious relationships, or if you have been in serious relationships and they have all been of the same poor, trash ass quality, or you've broken up each one doing the same bullshit, maybe you need to go back to the drawing board and see what it is about you that is causing strife in these relationships and heal your past. One of the things that you definitely need to pay attention to is how was love expressed in my house? How were conflicts resolved in my house? And if you realize that violence was the norm, physical violence was the norm, if you look at yourself and you say, you know what, I put my hands on my girlfriend, I beat up my wife, I throw shit at my husband, I attacked my boyfriend with a bat, I busted out his windows. If you say that to yourself, you, my friend, are an abuser. And you, my friend, need to get your shit together. Because it is not right for you to what makes you think it's okay for you to put your hands on somebody? Especially someone that you claim to love. Now, we're not talking about situations where a motherfucker talking shit out in the street. You got to handle your business. I do not advocate violence, but I'm not talking about a regular fight. You know that. I am talking about in a relationship, someone you are committed to. Why do you think that love equals violence? Because you learned it. So you need to unlearn it. Because the shit ain't cool. And if you have kids, you are teaching them the same thing. Guys, if you have a daughter and you are beating her mama's ass, or you let your daughter see you beat up your new girlfriend or your new wife, what you think kind of man she gonna go after? You can tell her all you want till you are blue in the face. Don't you ever let the motherfucker put their hands on you. You can tell her, but more than likely, she will end up with someone like her father because you are teaching her that that is what men do to women and that that is okay. Do you want somebody beating the shit out of your little girl? Do you want to be 40, 50 years old, spending the rest of your life in jail because you tried to go kill a motherfucker for blacking your daughter's eye? No, you don't. How do you stop that? You show her love. You model for her a way a man is supposed to treat a woman. You treat her with love and respect. You are mindful of your words and definitely mindful of your actions around your daughter so that when she goes out to seek a relationship, she looking for somebody like her father, not an abuser. Right? Ladies, women can't abuse men. I don't know why. It is kind of funny. It's not funny. I did not laugh. It's not funny. Women can abuse men. We may think it's funny and it's cute. Oh, I beat his motherfucking ass. I slapped the shit out of him. It's not. Because for one, you are putting yourself in a dangerous situation. If you are beating on your man, your husband, and he has not knocked the shit out of you, first of all, you need to thank God that he hasn't. Because when you put your hands on someone, you need to be prepared for what the fuck they gonna do back to you. And clearly, you ain't learned that because you keep putting your hands on this man. So if you are doing that, knock it the fuck off right now. Stop before he gets fed up. Stop before he is unable to control himself and he hauls off and hits your ass back. But ladies, if you have a son and you are abusive towards his father, towards your new boyfriend, your new husband, and your son is seeing this, what kind of woman you think he gonna get? He gonna get one who is quote unquote crazy like his mama. Somebody you want some, and I know, like I said, we may think, oh, a woman hitting a man is nothing. It is something. Women can be abusive. Men can be hurt. Society don't want us to think that men can be vulnerable and shit, but they can be. They some big ass punks sometimes. I mean, really, they are. You know it. And you can hurt him. And a lot of times, because women think we can't hurt them, you pick up something and you fucking hit them with it. And then now you hitting them with frying pans and throwing shit or whatever. Your son is seeing this. What kind of woman you think he gonna get? He is gonna get the type that does that same thing. Thank God if he doesn't, but it's more than likely that he is going to get a woman like his mama because you have modeled for him that is the way a man is treated. Do you want your son being treated like that? Do you want your son being punked in his home by his wife or his girlfriend? Do you want that for him? No, you don't. So please set a good example. Show him how a woman is supposed to treat a man that she loves with love and respect, how you are supposed to resolve conflicts with reasonable, logical, kind words and actions, not with yelling, screaming, name calling, and definitely not with hitting. If you are in a relationship that is abusive, you need to get out of it. I know you may be thinking it, other people may have told you, but you really, really need to get out of it. One thing you can do, let people know. Abuse continues because we are silent about it. You are embarrassed. You are ashamed. You don't want anybody to know. You never thought that this could happen to you, but you're not going to leave them. You still love them, so you don't want to tell anybody. You don't want people all in your business. Cut that shit out. If somebody is abusing you, let someone know. Because you are too close to the situation. You are the situation. You are in the middle of this shit happening to you, and you don't recognize probably that you need to get out of here, that it is as bad as it is. Or if you do recognize it, you don't know what to do. So you need some help. You need to let people know what is happening to you. If you are in an abusive relationship, you need to make a paper trail, even if you're not going to leave him. Even if you are scared to call the police when it happens, go to the police station the next day and make a police report. If you get hurt, if you have any physical bruising, take pictures of it. If you are seriously hurt, go to the hospital. Even if you're not seriously hurt, if you minor cut, bump, bruise, go to the emergency room. Let your primary care doctor know what's happening. You need to create a paper trail. You know why you need to create a paper trail? Because let's say one night, boyfriend comes home, he's been drinking, he's drunk. You know, when he starts drinking, he really starts fucking tripping. And y'all gonna be fighting tonight, right? So in efforts to try to avoid this situation, you know, he's starting to get going, yelling and screaming, calling you bitches and hoes and whatever. You don't want to fight. He's drunk. He's off balance. You know, you just kind of push him off of you. What if he fall down the stairs and break his damn neck and he's dead? Don't act like it can't happen, because it can. You push him, he hit his head on the corner of the table or the corner of the counter and he's dead. Just like that. You didn't think it was a hard push, but he was already off balance and he was drunk. So the police come and you say, you know what? He has been abusing me. This is how it starts. He gets drunk. He beats me. I was afraid. It was an accident though. I didn't mean to kill him. I just was trying to get him off of me before he got started. If you have no proof, if this hasn't happened before, you have no police reports, the police haven't been to your house, you haven't told anybody, nobody knows. Now it's your word against a dead man's. And he's dead. That's his word. This bitch killed me. And you have to defend yourself. So you can end up fighting for your life on two fronts if you stay in this relationship. You could end up fighting for your life from this man. You can end up fighting for your life in a court of law because you simply tried to avoid a situation or defend yourself. Or even if it is a situation in which you pick up the gun that's in the house and you do shoot him because you want him off of you. And then the police come in. It was self-defense. He was beating me. Well, maybe to them it just looks like, or the district attorney, it just looks like a little fight and you killed this man. You have to protect yourself at all costs. Protect yourself from harm. Protect yourself from going to jail. Protect your life. Get out of abusive relationships. The same thing for men. You do not deserve some woman putting her hands on you. It don't make you feel good. It make you feel like less of a man, don't it? For your girl to be slinging your ass around. And you're not going to hit her back because that is not what men do. You're not supposed to hit her back. But get away from her ass. Don't let her keep beating the shit out of you. Go get some help or get away from her. Before we run out of time, I definitely want to address emotional or psychological abuse. This is major because you can look in the mirror and you can see that you have a black ass eye, but you look in the mirror and you may not see that your spirit is broken. You may not realize that you haven't seen your friends or family in months. You may not see the low self-esteem. You may not see that you are a shell of a person that you once were. And that is what psychological or emotional abuse does. It breaks you down. And what right does anybody have to break you down? What right does anybody have to try to make you feel like you are less than the perfection that you are? They don't have any right. So don't give that to them. Baby girl, baby boy, listen. You are perfect and wonderful just the way you are. If you were not, they would not want you. But they know what they have. They know that they have an unfinished diamond. They know that they have a rose coming up out the concrete. They know what they have, and they are afraid to lose you because of their own insecurities, because somebody did not teach them right how to hold on to somebody that you love. And that is why they try to make you feel less than. That is why they try to make you feel like nobody else will want you. That is why they threaten your livelihood. That is why they threaten to take your kids away from you. That is why they threaten your very life, because they are so afraid of losing you. But don't get me wrong. Don't think that because they are afraid of losing you, that leaves some responsibility on you to fulfill something in them or to make them happy or to make them feel complete. No. Because if you are afraid of losing someone, then you cherish them, right? You treat them with as much love and respect that you can heap on them. You do not treat them with physical aggression. You do not try to get into their mind and twist their thoughts. You do not make them feel downtrodden, less than a human. You don't do that to somebody that you love. That is not what love is. It is not your responsibility ever to love an abuser. It is not your responsibility to stay with them. It is your responsibility to save your own damn life and leave him or her to save his own life. threatening somebody, and I want to really talk about threats because people do this all the time and they may think that it is not an abusive behavior, but it is. Threatening someone is intimidation, right? They are trying to intimidate you. They are trying to mold your behavior to what they want, and they will use threats to do so. Women do it just as well as men. Men, you may think, is more effective because, of course, they can use physical violence because that's what you expect of men. And men being bigger and stronger, nobody wants to be hurt. But women do it in a way that's more subtle. Guys, a woman can threaten with the best of them. Okay, if they threaten to take your child away from you, you'll never see the baby again. They threaten your livelihood. They threaten to act a fool at your job, make you lose it. They'll threaten to destroy your property, threaten to put you on child support, then take the kid. All kinds of crazy shit. They can threaten with the best of them, but you know why? They threaten you to try to mold your behavior to what they want. And they threaten you because they have, unfortunately, sometimes they have the power of the system on their side. It more than likely will side with them. It's going to be hard for you to prove abuse. It's going to, unless the bitch is crazy out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may be hard for you to prove emotional and psychological abuse, and then at the end you figure it's just, let me just stay. Let me stay for the kids. That is abuse, and you do not deserve it. Ladies, it is abuse for a man to continually threaten to physically harm you, your kids, your friends, your family, anybody that tries to help you. It is abusive. It's not fun. It's not playful. It's not, I just was mad. It is a pattern of abuse. They are doing it for a reason. There are tons of signs of an abuser. Things that people do or start to do that will signal to you that this is a bad situation and you got to get out of it. You can Google those anywhere. You can look up on the website for the National Center Against Domestic Violence. You can find them there. I'm just going to say this. Anytime you are in a romantic situation with someone and they start to do or say things that do not make you feel good about yourself, that do not make you feel good inside, that make you question them or the relationship, you know what I'm talking about, these red flags. When a motherfucker start waving a red flag, please pay attention to it. When those signs become signals and warning bells are going off in your head, please pay attention to it. If you find yourself feeling more upset, crying more than you laughing in a relationship, please pay attention to it because it is a signal that something is wrong. Like I said, there are tons of signs of an abuser, things that people may start to do or ways that you will feel that will signal to you this isn't good. But you just know yourself. And if you're not happy, life is too fucking short. If you are not happy, if they are not doing something that makes you happy, that you don't feel this love from this person, just leave them the fuck alone. Move around. Find somebody else. There are, 6 billion people on the planet? You will find someone else. That's another thing. Don't ever let somebody tell you, you won't find somebody else. Because yes, the fuck you will. And that's exactly what they're afraid of, that you will figure out that their ass is trash and that you can find somebody who will treat you with the love and respect that you deserve. It don't matter how old you are. It don't matter how many kids you got, how much money you make, what education you got. It don't matter how much you weigh. You can always find you somebody else. So, that's it. Let me take a breath. Let me calm down. I get all worked up when I talk about this because, like I said, I hate abusers. You ain't got the right to put your hands on somebody. You don't have the right to try to break down somebody's mentality. Shit, try to have them end up in a mental institution because you want to act a damn fool. You ain't got the right to do that. Whew. I said I was calming down. Let me calm down. Okay. But for real, I want everybody to remember, just stay safe. If you are in an abusive relationship, there is help out there. Tell somebody, tell a friend, tell a family member, tell somebody in your church if you go to church, tell somebody at work, get some help, go to the police, find a women's shelter, tell somebody, go somewhere, make a plan to get away, put money aside if you can, even if you don't have no money, if you are hurting, if you are being abused, if your children are being abused, go to the emergency room, tell the doctors what's going on, tell them you do not have a safe place to go back to, ask for a social worker. They can get you some help. They can get you in touch with people that can help you. Just please get out of the situation. Stay safe. All right, y'all. That's it for this episode. Make sure you come and check me out on Twitter at True Opinion Show. Hit up the website at trueopinionpodcast.com. Leave a question, a comment, and as always, please, please, please rate and subscribe on iTunes and tell somebody. If you like this show, if you think it's funny, if you think it's helpful, if you just like listening to it, tell people. Share it on social media. Tell them on Facebook. Tell them in person. Take their damn phone and just subscribe to the show. Just do it. And then say, you know what, when you got a few minutes while you washing dishes, when you in the car, listen to this. Do me that favor. All right. Bye.